Citing your sources is an important step in a research assignment. Anytime you write a research paper, it is a requirement to turn in a works cited list where you list in alphabetical order all of the sources you use to write your research paper. Examples of sources include books, ebooks, articles from databases, websites, and more. For English language arts classes, you're going to use the MLA citation style for all your citations. Each type of source has its own requirements. If you are using Aldine's online databases, all you have to do is click on the Cite button, select MLA style, and copy and paste it into your works cited list. If you use a library book or you locate your own website, you will have to create the citation yourself. Let's look at how to cite a book first. So this is what a citation for a book looks like. The first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need the author's name. Now the author's name has to be put in a certain format. And while we're talking about it, anytime you do a citation, the items that I'm asking you to put in your citation have to be put in a particular order. They have to have very specific punctuation. And the formatting has to be exactly as you see it, okay? So you will notice on the left-hand side, you start at the left margin, and then if the citation takes more than one line to complete, any line after the first line is going to be indented. That way, when you look at your teacher looks at your citations, they will know where a new citation begins because it's going to start all the way over here on the left side. Okay, so detail is very important. Punctuation and the order you put these things in is extremely important. So for the book, you're going to put the author's last name, comma, first name, and then a period. Okay, if you have more than one author, you will do the author's last name, comma, first name, the word and then the next author's name will be normal. It'll be like Paul Jones instead of Jones, comma, Paul. Okay, so where you will find the author's name will be on the title page of the book. Often it's also on the cover of the book, but that's where you're going to locate the author's name. It'll be on the title page or it'll be on the cover of the book. So after you've done the author's name, the next thing you need to put in your citation is the title of the book itself. The title of the book is going to be in italics, or you can underline it. Okay, make sure that you capitalize all of the words in the title that need to be capitalized. That would be always the first word of the title, always the last word of the title, and all important words in the middle. Small words like the or about will not need to be capitalized. So you're going to put that in italics, or you can underline it and put a period after the title. The next thing you need is the city where the book was published. The city is going to be next, and then after the city, it's important you put a colon after New York in this case. Okay, so you're going to put a colon after the city. Where do you find the city where the book was published? It's either going to be on the title page of your book or on the back side. Okay, you just have to look for it. It's probably going to be pretty small, and look for the place where the book was published. The next thing you need is the name of the publishing company that published the book. That's going to go next. Make sure you capitalize that and put a comma after it. This information will also be on the title page or the back side of the title page. After the publishing company, you need a comma. Next, you will put the date the book was published. You're going to put the most recent date. A lot of times it'll have a little C by it, which stands for copyright. You're going to put that date next with a period after it. And then the last thing that you need is you will put the word print with a period. This lets us know this book was an actual book that you can hold in your hand. So you have to write the word print and then a period at the end. Okay, the next type of citation we're going to look at is a web page. Okay, for a web page, so when you're doing a web page, it's going to be similar to how you did a book, but there are going to be some differences. So the first thing that you're going to start off with is the author or creator of the website. Sometimes this might be a person's name, but a lot of times the organization that's responsible for providing the website is the author, especially when it's a government site or a major organization like the American Psychological Association or Canadian Diabetes Association. That could be the author of the website. So it could be a name or it could be an organization. Where do you find it? You're going to look at the bottom or the top of the page or article that you're using. If it's not listed there, look on the Contact Us page or About Us page, and that will give you the author of the website. So if it is a person's name, you will need to do last name, comma, first name, period, like you did the book, okay? The next thing you're going to need is the article title. And this is going to go in quotation marks with a period inside the quotation marks. You're likely going to find two titles, the name of the web page you're using and the name of the overall website that the page falls under. Where do you find it? The web page is usually the title of an article, while the website name is the name of the entire website. Okay, you're going to need both of these pieces of information for your citation. So the page name, or you can think of it as an article title, but it might be easier to think of it as a web page name, is going to go in quotation marks. And then next you will put the website name. Now the website name needs to be in italics or underlined with a period after it. So the web page that you're looking at is in quotation marks, and the website name is going to be in italics or underlined and a period after it. Next, you're going to need, if an organization sponsored this website, you will put that next. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You only need to put this if it applies. So most of the time you will skip the organization name. Next, you're going to need the publishing date or the last revision date. Okay, so this date refers to the date that the article or information was posted on the website. You can only put one publication date, so if a page has been edited or updated, always use the most recent publication date. Where do you find this? Normally it is found at the bottom of the page next to the words last updated. If you see a website that has a date like C 2010, that's actually the copyright date and not the publication date. If this is the only date you can find, then you can use it. If you can't find a publication date anywhere on the site and you still want to use it in your works cited list, most citation styles require you to say N period D period in your citation where the date should go, and that stands for no date. N period D period. If you can't find that, you're going to write the word web next to let us know this is a website. And then the last thing you need is the date that you looked at the website. So we want to know what day you looked at the website. And the reason for that is the websites are constantly updated. So you're letting us know that when you looked at this website, you looked at this website on this date, and there's possibility something could change after that date. So this date has to be put in a strange order. You can't just put it in a regular order. You need the day first, then the month, which is going to be abbreviated, and then the year. Okay, so it's day, month, and year. Okay, that is a little backwards than how we normally do it. Make sure you put a period at the end. So that's how you will create your own citations for books that you find, like library books, or your own website. Now you'll see that this is quite a bit of work, so that is why I really encourage you to use the Aldine databases, because when you use an Aldine database and you find an article from one of those, or you find an ebook from Aldine's databases, all you have to do is find the little citation button, click on it, find MLA, highlight it, and copy and paste it into your document. The last thing we're going to talk about is what you're going to do with all these citations. So for each source, you're going to make sure you have a citation for each one of the sources that you use in your research paper. You're going to gather those all together and you're going to create a works cited list. This is an example of one. You're going to have the title centered here where it says works cited, and then you're going to list each one of the citations for your research paper. And we're going to talk about how to format that. Okay, so make sure that you write the word works cited centered in the middle of your paper. You're going to make sure all of the entries are alphabetized by the last name of the author or whatever is in that first space. All of these have to be put in alphabetical order. Then make sure your spacing is correct. Use left alignment and double line spacing. No extra spaces between entries. So you'll see that this starts over here on the left. If your citation takes more than one line to complete, all the other parts of that citation will be indented 5 spaces underneath the beginning of your citation. So it's going to start at the left. If you run out of space here, you're going to come down and indent 5 spaces. The next new citation will come all the way over here to the left. That lets your teacher know where your new citation begins. And once again, they need to be put in alphabetical order. Okay, in high school, they're probably going to make you put your name and page number at the top. Okay, but for middle school, we don't require that. Okay, but you probably will have to do that when you get to high school. Okay, so that is how you will format your works cited list and what it looks like. So I hope that this will help you get started with your works cited page. If you have any questions, you can ask your teacher, you can ask me, or you can consult an MLA handbook for more information.